Hi guys, my name is Lindsay, and the topic I chose to do my presentation over was the bacterium wolbachia. Wolbachia is a naturally occurring bacteria that lives in the cytoplasms of cells. It's different because it actually targets the reproduction of its host cells of the insects it lives in. It really only infects arthropods, so things like butterflies, moths, fruit flies, but our main focus today is mosquitoes. It actually infects over 60% of the world's population of insects, and it's one of the most abundant bacteria with no effects to humans. So we all know how annoying mosquitoes can be. You're sitting outside just minding your own business, and then the next thing you know, you're swarmed by mosquitoes, and two have already bitten you. They're actually one of the most dangerous insects because of the viruses they carry. For example, Zika, we all remember that a few years ago. It can cause paralysis. In pregnant women, it can cause severe birth defects. Dengue, can cause people to have severe muscle pains, fevers, rashes, headaches, and many of them die. Yellow fever can lead to bleeding, shock, heart and liver kidney failures, and sometimes even death. We've tried to control the population by draining stagnant water where they can reproduce, or handing out nets to place over beds while children are sleeping, and even insecticides. But nothing really seems to work. And insecticides are pretty dangerous. A scientist, Scott O'Neill, and his team in Australia have come up with a way to stop mosquitoes from transferring diseases to people by injecting them with the virus. So basically what they do is they take fruit flies, they take the virus out of the fruit flies, and they inject them into the embryo of the mosquito eggs. They grow these infected mosquitoes inside their lab, and then they release them into the wild. How they release them into the wild is, they also injected the mosquitoes with dengue to make sure that the wolbachia killed the virus. Whenever they were they tested to see if the dengue virus was transmitted into humans, it actually nothing happened. And this project actually took 10 weeks in 2011. So when they released it into the wild, they would go into neighborhoods and pull up with a cup, as you see like in Scott's hand, pull up a cup, and then that household would release like about 50 mosquitoes into the wild, and then they would come back a few weeks later, or a couple days later, release more, and this went on for 10 weeks. And then within a few months, almost 100% of the mosquitoes tested had the bacteria present, and that most of them, like the dengue numbers, went down. So basically what happens is it targets the reproduction system of the host cells. It's vertically passed down by the mother from one generation to the next. However, the only thing stopping of the spread is cytoplasmic incompatibility. Cytoplasmic incompatibility works like this. If a male mosquito is infected by wolbachia and mates with a female that is not infected, the egg she lays will not hatch. If the female has wolbachia and mates with a male who doesn't, the eggs she lays will actually hatch just as normal, and all of her offspring will carry the bacteria as well. When they both carry the bacteria, all the offspring will carry it as well. And it only really works on males of the species. It can cause loss of an embryo during development because the non-infected female was fertilized by the infected male. However, if the female is infected, it causes the female to actually produce a gene that encodes for a second factor that basically rescues the embryo, allowing development to proceed normally. This allows it to spread so rapidly through a species. Since 2011, there have been trials in Australia, Vietnam, Colombia, and Brazil, and the number of dengue cases have decreased. It's almost obsolete in those communities where the infected mosquitoes have been released into the wild. Through this experiment, they were able to see that the microbes can not only just kill or wreak havoc on people, but they also can save lives and save people through microbes. That's why this bacteria is really neat.